I'm going to teach you how to construct an ellipse using an auxiliary circle method. We have different types of method of drawing an ellipse. So today we're talking about the auxiliary circle method. We'll be starting with a small circle. So now we have the diameter of the small circle to be 60 millimeter. Divided by 2, we know that that's the radius, and that's going to be 30 millimeter. So we're going to draw our circle using our compass and ruler. So we're going to measure out 30 millimeter or 3 centimeter. So I'm measuring it out now. So this is 30 millimeter, which is also same as 3 centimeter. So drawing my small circle, ensure it is a thin line. Ensure it is a very, very thin line. So secondly, we're going to be drawing the big circle, which has the diameter of 80 millimeter. Now, when we divide it by 2, we know that one is 40 millimeter, which is also same thing as 4 centimeter. So the same technique, we're going to be using our compass and ruler to measure out the 40 or 4 centimeter. Ensure it is placed on the same points you used to draw your small circle. Place it gently, and don't forget that it is a thin line. Don't forget that it's a thin line. So this is 60 millimeter, the small circle, and the big circle is 80 millimeter. So the next thing is that we're going to be drawing a right angle on this point. I'm going to draw a right angle to this particular horizontal line. So what I'm going to do doing is that I'm going to be placing my set square on that point. But before that, ensure that this particular inner line, is horizontal with this horizontal line on the paper. So when you place it here, ensure it is placed gently on the paper. So you place now you're going to place your ruler underneath the set square to ensure that it perfectly glides on the paper or on the ruler. So I'm going to be moving it now to this particular point that we used to draw the small and big circle. So after it's there, you ensure that the ruler is very, very tightened. So you drag, or you just move this your set square to the point that you've marked already, gently. Now I've moved it already. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be drawing a vertical line that cuts both the small and big circle. So after then, I'm going to extend this vertical line underneath the big circle as well. So this is it. So now the next method is that we're going to be bisecting the circle. We're going to be bisecting the circle into equal parts. So we're going to start from the small circle, bisect the circle into equal parts. So using the same radius, don't forget that the small circle has a radius of 30 millimeter or 3 centimeter. So we're going to use the same radius. Don't forget, or you can just use your ruler. 3 centimeter. So you place it. You can label this place as O. You can label this place as A and B. So you place your set square on A. Strike an arc that cuts the small circle up and down. So next thing that you place it again on B. Ensure that this circle, this measurement does not reduce in size. So place on B as well. Strike up and down. So I'm going to be joining the arcs together. Now I'm going to be joining this arc to this arc, and also this arc to this arc as well. So we have our point here, joining to this one. So, but before that, ensure that it extends more than the small circle, because so as for it to cut the big circle as well. So you can extend it out. As you can see it like this. If you look at it closely, it cuts across the center of the circle, which is the O. So we're going to do something likewise for this arc as well, this one and this particular arc. So same thing as well. Don't forget, like, it's cut the small circle first and the big circle. So as you can see, we perfectly cut the small circle. And before we proceed, I want us to do a quick thing. I want us to label the small circle so that we can flow with the whole drawing. So we can label this place as F1, F2, or let me say F0, F1, F2. Okay. Lastly, I forgot to do something. We're going to be dividing this circle, like I said, into 4 equal parts. We've only done the half part. The first one we did was that we cut this place 1 and 2. But this time around, the same measurement, we're going to be putting it on FO to cut it here. Before then, we only used A and B as our pointer to cut the up and down. But this time around, we're going to be placing our compass on FO to cut sideways. You understand? So we're going to be cutting sideways, right? As you can see. So we do the same thing likewise for the down part of the circle, of the smaller circle. We cut the side as well. We've cut both left and right. So now we're going to be joining points together again. So what I'm going to be doing now is that, as you can see, that we have a point here and also we have an arc here as well. So we're going to be joining together to ensure that it's cut across this center. So place your pencil and your ruler on this point. Yes. So, and don't forget that this line I'm about to draw must cut the big circle as well. So after you have ensured that it is perfectly on the arcs, just extend your pencil out of the big circle and ensure it's in thin line. As you can see, it's still cut across the center O. So this something likewise for this side as well, this particular arc and this arc as well. So you make the same thing, place it gradually, ensure that it passes through O, and ensure that it passes through the big circle as well. Now the reason why we're doing this is so that we can get a easy balance with the foci we're going to be drawing, or the shape we're going to be getting using the auxiliary circle method. Now we've gotten 12 equal division of this circle. So now we're going to be labeling it now. We have divided the big circle using the small circle division. If you look at it closely. So we're going to be labeling the big circle as well. But this time around, we're going to be using A. We're going to be joining points together. Now for the small circle, we're going to be joining the F's using a horizontal line. Now I'll be joining F1 and F11 together. So we're using I'm only joining F using the horizontal line. You can decide to use your own ruler, but just ensure that you perfectly join F1, F11, and the many F's together. We're going to be joining together. So now we're going to be joining F1 and F11 together. So this is my ruler in a horizontal format. Place it on your paper on F1 and F11. Just make it cut the big circle as well, but just lightly. So you join in F1 and F11 together. As you can see, I've joined F1 and F11, which cut across the bigger circle as well. So the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be joining F2 and F10 together as well. Now, what we are doing practically is to get the point of our foci, is to get the point that we're going to use to produce our ellipse. Because, like I said, ellipse are just the joining of points to get a particular shape. So we're going to be joining F2 and F10 together. This is F2, this is F10. Don't forget, it can cut across your big circle. So as you can see, we've done it. Now, if you look at it closely, F3 and F9, they are joined already together. That was from the beginning of the part of the drawing. So I'm going to be joining F4 and F8 together as well. F4 and F8 together. This is F4. This is F8. So ensure that your ruler is placed gently and ensure that this line that you are drawing or that you're looking at me draw it is in a thin line. Ensure it is in a thin line. So we've joined F4 and F8 together. So you move it to your F5 as well. F5 and F7. F5 and F7. F5 and F7. So now you look at it closely, we've perfectly joined the F's together. We've joined F1 and F11, F2 and F10, F3 and F9, F4 and F8, F5 and F7. Now, the next thing is that we're going to be joining the edge as well. But this time around, we're not going to be making use of horizontal lines. We're going to be making use of vertical lines. Yes, vertical lines. But this particular one will not be joining edge together. The edge will be standing alone. The edge will be standing alone. So this time around, we'll be needing the help of a set square to help us get a vertical line. Because we'll not be joining A's together. The A's will be standing alone. So what we're going to be doing now is that we're going to be drawing a vertical line using our set square and our ruler. So you place your set square gently on this vertical line, this AO to A6. You place your scale set square on it gently. Ensure that it extends beyond the bigger circle. The position of the set square, ensure that it extends beyond the big circle for easy movement. So after we've done that, you're going to place a ruler underneath the set square gently. So now we're going to be sliding the set square on the ruler. So you can start from anywhere, but I'll start from A1. So we're going to drawing a vertical line. Now I've shifted the set square. So you put it, after it has touched the A1, you draw a vertical line that cuts across the circle. As you can see, I've drawn the vertical line of A1. Now using the same positioning, you extend it to A2 as well. A2. Draw a vertical line down, as you can see. So the same thing goes for A11. So same thing goes for A10. This A10 over here. So you draw a vertical line as well. So if you look at it closely, we've produced a vertical line using the set square and the ruler. We have done it for A1, A2, A11, A10. Yes. So the next thing is that if you look at it closely now we're about to mark some points so that we can get the shape of the ellipse. So now if you look at it closely, starting from A11, the vertical line, when coming down, if you look at it closely, It's cut across an horizontal line on F11. As you can see, this is F11, this is A11. They both meet at a point. You know that the F11 is for the small circle and the A11 is for the big circle. Their their convergence both met at a point, as you can see closely here. So you mark it out with a point, as you can see. So the next thing is that you're going to go to the next one, which is A10 to F10. Yes, they're both going to meet at a point. You mark it out as well. Yes. So automatically we have our A9 here. So move to the other side of the drawing. We have our F0 here. Means it's coming like this. It's coming like this. So I'm going to have our F0 here. The point. So for F1 and A1, they both also met at the points here, over here, as you can see. So the same thing goes likewise for A2 to F2. They both met up at a point. So the next thing is that it's going to be the point is going to be coming on A3, as it also came on A9 over here. So you move like that. F4, also F4 and A4. If you can remember vividly, while we were drawing this particular vertical line, I mean the A2, the A1, the A's, while we were drawing the vertical line, they all will cut across the down labelings. I mean the A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. So automatically, while we were drawing the vertical line of A2, to show that your work is perfectly okay, it must cut across the lower part of the drawing automatically. So this time around, A2 and F2, we've done that. So this time around, we're going to be joining F4 and A4, the line that came from A2. As you can see, it's cut across A4. So A4 and F4 also met at a point, as you can see. So the next thing is that I'm going to be joining A5 and F5, also met at a point. Also, F6, you label it with a dot as well. Then F7 and A7, F7 and A7, they also met at this point over here. So A8 and F8, their meeting point also met here. I mean the horizontal and the vertical line, as we've been doing it, also met here. So the next thing is that we're going to be making use of our French curve to get the points. I'm going to be making use of our French curve to get the point. So to get the shape of the ellipse. Now this is our F curve. This is our F curve. As you can see, it's a F shape, This is our F curve. So we're going to be doing this gently. I'm going to be checking the points that goes accurately using the French curve. So now we can decide to place it here. Now in this part, you must be very, very careful while trying to get the shape. You must be very, very careful. You must be very, 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 very careful. Because if you are not careful at this point, you are likely going to do a mistake and it's going to affect your works. So as you can see, we have our FO and this point that join each other. So I'm taking my line straight forward like that. So I'm moving on to this side. So you check for this next point on my right hand side. You check as well. As you can see. So the next one is that we're going to be joining this point also to A9 as well. A9. Done so far. We've only made use of this particular place of the French curve, just this place, to join my right libellis. So so now we're going to be joining this particular side, the left part of the drawing, left part of the drawing. So I will be turning it to the other. No, this time around, this was what we used, but this time around, I'm going to be turning it this way. I'm going to join F1 and F0 together. F1 and F0. F1 and as you can see, F1 and F0 has been done. So I'm joining the next one. As you can see, we've done it as well. So we're joining this point also to A3. Now, what we use so far is also this part as well. So I think this will give us a guide to draw a perfect ellipse. Now, you'll be drawing the down part of the ellipse. You've done the upper side of the ellipse, so we're drawing the down part of the ellipse as well. So now using this method as well, as you can see it in this form, you're going to place it also on A3 to get the point, to match the points that you drew. I mean the A4 and the F4 points. So you're going to be doing gently, gently, gently. So we've done this part. So we're going to join in to the F5 and the A5. So join into F6 as well. As you can see, we've done this side as well. So this was how we have the shape of the French curve, but you turn it on the other side to get the lower part of this left hand side. So don't forget. So I'm going to be joining A9 to this point of F8 and A8. So this is the point. Join it together carefully. Ensure that it is carefully placed. So that's carefully placed. I'm joining F8 A8, the point, to F9 A9. So sorry, the F7 A7. Don't worry, don't put pressure on this thing. The side we are using to get all this thing is just on this upper part of the French curve. So let's do the last one together. That's F7 and 8 and F6. So, yep, yeah. So if you look at it closely, we've drawn an ellipse using an auxiliary method, using the small circle diameter and also the big circle diameter.